is this?
Welcome to the ultimate software showdown. This is TechLabs. 3, 2, 1, activate!
The ultimate battle for accounting tech begins now.
Hello, everybody, and very warm welcome to this exciting episode of TechLabs. It's our pilot episode where we're here to basically talk to you about the world of technology within the accounting space. I went through my phone list and found the best people possible for this particular podcast. They weren't available. No, Jake, of course they're available. They jumped at the chance to come along. So we're going to start, as we will always start these episodes, we're going through who is our panel for today. My name is Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap. Who's to the right of me? Left? Who's this way? There we are.
No one. I'm the other way. Hi, everyone.
You're that way.
No, I'm not. Well, anyway. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Hancock. I'm an accountant. I'm an auditor, and I like silvery new things in technology. So hopefully I can share some insights.
Definitely comes to the right place, because I'm sure all of us have probably gone too soon on certain software. That's a story for another day. Side, who are you? Why are you here?
I'm Simon. I'm the software advisory manager at Morkington Smith, and yeah, I like to be known as the person that sits on the fence, because we deal with all software and the majority of apps. So yeah, be good to discuss more than just QuickBooks for a change.
Yeah, and Charlie, who are you? Why here?
Who am I? I'm Charlie Khan. I'm an accountant based in West London, and I run a Facebook group for QuickBooks Pro Advisors.
Excellent. Now, how's this going to work? Well, we're going to go live each and every Wednesday, or second Wednesday of each month at 12:30. We're trying to do that. Might change. I think we might even need to change the next one, but yeah, we're going to try and keep as close to that as we possibly can. We chose that date for a reason. A, it's after VAT and MTD deadline, so thumbs up for that one. It's in the middle of the month. And B, hopefully in the middle of the day, more people can come join us live. Speaking of joining us live, Susanna's here, says excited for this. Thank you very much. Can't wait there. And also make sure you come this time tomorrow, right? Tuesday, for our MTD Watch series, where we're going to talk about all of those issues and problems we've had with MTD going forward. Kirsty St. John's here, says, yay, she managed to see us live. So hello to you too. And Gideon says, my name is Gideon and I'm glad to join. Glad to have you here. How are you, Amy? Hello, Aaron. Hello, Simon. And hello, Charlie. There we are. I was a bit worried at first that you didn't want to say hi to Charlie. I was like, what's Charlie done so far? I mean,
cheers, Gideon. Thanks for getting in there at the end.
You normally, I know it can be figure every now and again, but he's only just joined today, so we should be fine. Right. We're going to have to start with one of the big... Oh, and Paul's here as well. Hello, Paul. Hope you are doing well. Right. We're going to have to start with the biggest news. And the reason we brought this forward, because full transparency, we were going to leave this for another month, but there's just too much juicy information to talk about. And it has to be the wonderful world of XeroCon and the announcements they've made. So first of all, let's go around the room. Who attended XeroCon? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it. Something about if I crossed the line, I would have been burst into flames or something. They threatened me or something like that. So that's fine. Amy, were you able to make it this year?
Unfortunately not. I haven't been to a XeroCon before. I have been green through the blood. However, I was very intrigued. And I did hear you were there in spirit, Aaron. You were mentioned on another person's grid walk. Although I will say probably your one is much better. But yeah, very interested with what's come out, and I'm hoping Simon is the one with the knowledge.
But we'll
Did you go, Simon?
First, though, Charlie, it was around the corner. You've said that this is the venue you've wanted to go for a long time. So you were definitely there, right?
I was at the venue, and I was there on the day of XeroCon. I went for breakfast with Approval Max in the morning.
But you didn't go in?
I did. Well, I did try and go in, but they wanted 300 quid or something off me to walk in. So I thought, no, screw that. I went, but unlike Amy, I have been to a Zero. I went to the very first UK Zero Con back in 1863, whenever it was, and it was at the ICAW. There were only about 100 of us there, so I did go to that very first one, and it was a very, very impressive event. And I sort of snuck into one or two of the other ones since then to the sort of opening night parties. But not being a major Zero user, though it's a good product. But it's not. I'm not a major Zero user, so no, I wasn't going to spend £300 to attend ZeroCon.
But amazing venue though. That they've.
Olympia's brilliant. More people should dump Excel and move back to Olympia. Lovely. West London rules.
And our resident Zero expert, Si, you were there, right?
No. I was there, but I was there for the virtual part of the important bit of the day.
Yeah.
So I joined virtually on the Wednesday to get all of the updates, basically. I thought that was the most important thing. And a bit like Charlie, I thought £300 was a bit extortionate. If you compare it to other industry events in this ilk. So yeah, I was like, nope, but I will join for the bit that's the most important bit that we actually all really want to see, right? If you've been to most of the talks and things like that, I'm not too worried about. But yeah, I wanted to see the updates, and we'd heard bits and pieces from the ZeroCon in Australia. So then, what was there anything else for the UK? That's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, I think we need to touch on that, right? I've got a bit to talk about towards the end about their new SKU, so we'll leave that till the very end.
Yeah.
But the big parts, unless anyone saw anything else, was Zero Force. That seems to be what people are talking about the most. Anyone had any hands-on? Anyone seen any hands-on? Anyone best to kind of explain what it is? So do you want to try and explain what they presented on screen at least during that call?
It's something similar to what we saw from QuickBooks. I don't know if people say it came to the QuickBooks watch along that we did. Remember we did that back in, was that April time?
Yeah.
And it's a AI agent builder for your Zero. So I don't want to say it's a copy and paste job, but we know most things in this world are, that person's doing that, we better do something similar to that. So it's very similar to what we saw with QBO, but obviously we've not seen it in the UK for QBO either. So, but yeah, so it allows people to build their own AI agents to write some financial workflows or, do audit logs, across, and you can do it also across your practice in theory. So you'd be able to say, right, go away from my whole practice of my clients and do this overflow we've asked it to do. Might be check if your VAT return's been filed or, those sort of things. Flag if it has been filed or been rejected or there's a bank fee problem and all that sort of good things you want to do at a practice level, basically. I have requested access because it's only in early access at the moment, but I haven't got it yet.
Interesting.
So, yeah, there is a lot of chat about it. But who actually has access to it, I do not know. Or I've not seen any videos of people using it yet.
Yeah. I imagine it's going to be a tool that's going to be a big learning curve, but I can see some massive benefits from it if you can get your head around it, if you can, maybe if it works as intended, right? Like that, it should tick all those boxes. A lot of me kind of gets confused about, well, we've had the ChatGPT deal. We've had the Anthropic deal. But where does Zero Force sit with that? Is this part of it? Is this just rebranding of it?
Whole new. So they've gone down a bit like the Intuit route of building. They're looking at a new OS. They're changing from being just a solution to a operating system, which is the same sort of wording we got off Intuit, wasn't it? It's no longer QuickBooks, it's the Intuit platform. Is that the right word?
Platform works for me. Yeah.
So it's that similar sort of shift from not just being a finance solution. It's now, this is your platform, your operating system, so to speak. So you can do everything you want on it in theory, which ties in then with the other things around, bolting, the connection to Lovable and people building their own apps and all that sort of stuff to build out. So your whole operating system running on, or your whole business system running off of Zero OS in effect, with going backwards and forwards, those agents and the Lovable connection, all that sort of jazz. Chat and whatever other
if they can pull it off, huge.
It's huge. Obviously AI is I think I did a post the other day around AI and mainly the demo around what Zero built using the Lovable connection. It's like, actually, if it comes, this is, I can't remember if we're going to say this. Amy, it's one for you as we've got audit hat on.
Yes.
Which I don't talk about audit on this show. If you saw AI posting things, what would your audit hat say?
Oh,
yeah, and that's the bit that I think needs looking into in more detail and governance and all that jazz.
Seeing as you mentioned audit, I am going to jump on that a little bit because I don't talk about it that much. But I think that's one of the reasons AI hasn't really taken off in the audit space, because we have so much caution around getting it right. Do we see it as more risky? Probably. That would then increase our audit work if you had a bot or AI or whatever you're calling it doing it rather than a human. So I'd be a little bit cautious. Thankfully for me, a lot of my audit clients are still Sage Line 50. So we're a little bit behind. I took away from that Zero Force thing, and I was reading some of the examples that they had up on stage. Like I'll read them here. They were like, bank feed health check, VAT liability alerts, sending a client updates on their invoices. A lot of that they were talking about is stuff is it kind of we've got that in, again, dare I say it, we already have that in QuickBooks Advanced. So with their workflows, so it seemed to be more talking about workflows and bringing those in.
Yeah.
Again, it says available now. I haven't tested it, so maybe I'll just go away and have a little look and see what it does that. And is that across all the SKUs? We are going to still compare to QuickBooks coming off the back of QuickBooks Labs. And I think actually looking at some of the stuff it can done, it says it workforce will be doing. It's not stunning for me on that level. All the kind of agent stuff, amazing. When it's here, grand, we'll all give it a go. But the bits that they say that it's available now, I didn't think were necessarily all singing and dancing.
No, but I think, like anything though, I think this is the sort of thing where, Zero will tell you that they've got this use case, that use case, everything else, but there is enough Zero people out there, and hopefully they start doing content again sometime soon. But I'm hoping that the community will come up with way better use cases for what this can actually do and come through, right? Like that hive mind mentality. There's going to be people who are going to come up with things we've never even thought of. They're going to be amazing and right. Like that's where a tool like this you want to give to the community so they can thrive on it. Speaking of the fact that other than Ultra, which we'll come to,
the Reddit on Zero Force is quite funny. Just by the way, if anyone wants a good laugh.
What's that? Sorry.
There's obviously Reddit forums on Zero Force and all that. If you want a good laugh for 10 minutes, go there. Some of the comments are hilarious, like how about actually update the user experience before doing this? Updating some of the sections. There was a whole big thing around. I think they did it at Zero, updating their allocation of credit notes, bill credit notes. Yeah, that page hadn't been touched for since the beginning of time. It's little things like that that's still on almost like the old look of Zero that hadn't been brought up, and then we're still doing new stuff. And there's quite a lot of anger around that, I think, or in the Reddit forums.
Because this is what you want from Zero Con for there's two people they're looking for, right? The one who's already drinking the Kool-Aid, and they want to keep them drinking it, right? And then there's people like Charlie, right? Like Charlie, anything that we've talked about so far, you now jump into a Zero subscription and moving all your clients over. Anything you see in there that's caught your eye?
No. It's I have used Zero over the years, and as I said earlier, I think it's a very good product. I just never found it as easy to use as QuickBooks. QuickBooks and Zero, and Simon was talking about earlier about copying with new AI products. Look at what QuickBooks do and soon to be called Intuit, I think they're dropping the QuickBooks name, aren't they? But look at that and sort of develop their own thing. So I think it's great that there are two products at the very, very top of the cloud accounting, the cloud bookkeeping space. Sage, probably, I don't use Sage, but it's probably, getting up towards there. But QuickBooks and Xero are both very, very good. And it's just, I'm still a fan of QuickBooks. I like it. I've, recently moved to their new IAS, which I like, and they've got lots of new stuff in there. We'll probably be talking about more about QuickBooks later on. I'm guessing we'll talk about more about it later on today. So I'll save that for then. But yeah, no, I'm not persuaded to move to Xero at the moment.
Interesting. Okay, so for me, Xero workforce or force, whatever we're calling it, I like the idea of it, and I think it'll be great. I think you have to have a certain amount of Xero clients for it to make the most sense, right? But what it's there, it's doing good things. The bit that confused me was Xero Ultra. So for anyone who doesn't know, Xero Ultra is their newest SKU, as we like to call them in the version of Xero, want a better word. I am not going to pretend I know what all the versions of Xero are.
I can help you there.
But they go up to Ultimate, is it? Is that the one that they used to go up to?
Yeah.
Go up to Ultimate, and Si will tell us exactly what it's called. And then this is supposed to be their next version above that. Now, in the QuickBooks world, you used to have QuickBooks Plus, or you still have QuickBooks Plus, and you have QuickBooks Advanced. And Ultra, to me, is going head-to-head with the QuickBooks Advanced platform, right? It's supposed to be their version to be able to kind of go against it and everything else. Now, Xero are in a beautiful position where they are market leaders in the UK by a country mile. They've got a really good base in New Zealand and everywhere else that they're doing. So they're doing really well for themselves. I think they, as you always do at these sort of stages, they said how good they're doing and how many they've brought in, all that sort of stuff goes with it. So then bring in their newest, most highly anticipated next step. Now, they're trying to say it's like an ERP-esque solution. It's not. It's a step up to, or it's at least it's a reason why you don't have to, as a business, you don't have to jump to ERP straight away, right? Like it is a stepping stone, that sort of conversation. But as Xero, they've watched Intuit release QuickBooks Advanced, and in the UK, definitely, I've been one of the biggest critiques of it we have on this show, right? Like it never hit the mark. It's a good product now, 2, 3, whatever this time frame is, and it actually has a lot of good going for it at this point in time. There's revenue recognition and all these other solutions that are coming in there that actually I've got clients who are moving to QuickBooks Advanced just for those particular features, and then making sense for them to be on that platform. So when Xero announced Xero Ultra, and they've watched how difficult QuickBooks has done it and made a rod for own back by not releasing it with good product, good feature parity at the time, your expectation is Xero Ultra is going to come with these big singing, dancing solutions. Because for Xero, they could leave this in the oven for as long as they need to, cook it up, and come out and wow everyone, right? That's what they need to do to get the buy-in. Feature-wise, Xero Ultra has backup, which QuickBooks Advanced already has, so, feature parity there. Priority support, which QuickBooks Advanced already have, so feature parity there. And an extra version of SIFT Analytics. And I've got every part of me thinks that SIFT Analytics will be a brilliant product. And, it's probably more powerful than what I've used SIFT Analytics in the past. It's probably an upgrade to that. There's probably extra bits to it, and extra, and that's going to be built directly in. So that bit probably is going to be an amazing solution. But that's it. Now we'll come to the price point in a minute, but no matter what that price point is that enough, in anyone's opinion here, to be an ultra product?
No.
Hey, Amy, do you want to go first?
So while you were talking, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go to the website and have a little nose. And it's gone mid tier. I'm on the Australian website.
Yeah.
Mid-sized businesses, Ultimate 10, $28.60, loads of stuff, right? Loads and loads. And then you go to Ultra. I don't know what the price point is in the UK.
I'll tell you in a minute.
It's insane. It's insane. And then it's just got everything in Ultimate 10 plus those 4 things you said about multi-entity consolidations, advanced forecasting, fast track support, targeted. Wouldn't you make it look longer? Like even just for for a consumer, you don't want to say, go back, everything on this one plus these 4, because it just looks like you're not getting a lot. And when you're comparing the price and the jump, you just repeat it. Just repeat it. Because then it just looks like, wow, there's more things. Psychologically, you feel like you're getting a bit more. And then you go to the price and go, is it worth it? Whereas at the moment on their website, you're looking at the prices going, there's only 4 things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's history repeating itself, right?
This is what things are inside one of the. They're all inside SIFT, right?
SIFT, yeah, two of the 4.
Yeah.
And
the forecasting and
and I imagine it's a enhanced version of SIFT they're talking about here, or do you think they're just giving you everything that's in SIFT? But my point is that consolidation of reporting's what, a third of the problem? Like it's always nice to have a good consolidating tool.
It annoys me.
Go on, Simon. I can tell you're annoyed.
My biggest annoyance is the phrase that says providing ERP grade capabilities on a platform customers. That bit are fine. They understand that bit. The phrase that says ERP grade capabilities. Nowhere near. And that's the bit that got me, because even if you say, let's compare it, like we're going to compare it against QBO Advanced. If you look at the jump between QuickBooks Plus and QBO Advanced, there are more features, like the extra custom reporting fields, and that's the stuff. And they seem to miss the point around what. And I've said it. We said it to QuickBooks. We said it to everyone else. They literally go, "Oh, we look at turnover and look at employee numbers as what needs it." That's the wrong metrics to be looking at. To why people want to upgrade a system. That isn't. It's the data they want out the back end. If I can't put this analytical field in to run a report on X, Y, Z, then I still can't do that. And then they're using I understand why. They're then using the ecosystem to then have all the things you need around it, right? So you need stock. Okay, we've got a stock system. Oh, we need intercompany. Massive. Right, we need a Mayday or a Gather to do intercompany. Yeah. Oh, we need prepayments. Oh, we need a Mayday or a thing to do that. Oh, we need deferring. Yeah. All those things that you expect to have that people will need to commit to it hasn't got. And then you need to go and get an app, which then adds to the thing that we're not talking about yet, which is the cost. And then by that point,
and complexity, right? And
complexity and all that.
Learning and training, everything that goes with it, right?
And I know, it's the one thing that they haven't mentioned, transaction volumes. It says it can deal with. I haven't actually seen it say we can deal with more transactions, but I know there's lots of stuff in the web that says, "Oh yeah, it can deal with more volume." Where does it say that? Granular access rights. I know that's been mentioned because I know it's in Zero this week. They've actually changed all the access rights across Zero. Actually, how granular are we going? It's all little things like that actually that's mid-tier ERP, which this doesn't have.
Yeah.
And then my rant that is over.
Yeah. And what's the top cost of Ultimate at the moment, roughly?
$500.
I say Ultimate, no.
Ultimate is £65 a month.
65.
But that's going up in September.
Yeah, to like 70 odd, isn't it?
70, I think. Yeah, 70 pounds a month. So let's call RRP 70 quid a month.
So that's cheaper than QuickBooks Advanced.
But no, that's Ultimate. No. That's their equivalent of Plus, right?
That's Plus. Oh, right. It's Ultimate.
Ultra is 500 Australian dollars is the only figure we know. But if you work that backwards, that's like 350 quid. If you kind of go like how much their Ultimate's gone to their thing, right? So if you do like just do a maths thing when it comes to that, 350 odd quid, right? Obviously, 123 off the top of my head is advanced. That's like what they're going against. So you're doubling the advanced price with zero like extra features, nothing extra. Everything that you've just said there is in the advanced product. Wow. Okay, the consolidation, you're having to jump into an Excel spreadsheet and do Excel sync. So it's not beautifully done, but the functionality is there, right? It's just not as elegant.
the bit I was trying to work out, right?
And it's per entity as well, isn't it?
So that $500 I spent ages trying to find, that is per entity. But what they're saying is, oh, you won't need Ultra for every entity. You'd get that for one, and then you might have a match of how many entities else are in your group. But then I was trying to work out, actually, could I just have 5 Zero licenses, say the Ultra one at 70 quid a month, which is 350 quid, right? But you'd be paying for those anyway, right? So there might be one where you might be paying the 260 and then just get Sift Advanced direct from Sift.
Yeah. Yes. Got to be cheaper, right?
It is cheaper.
Significantly, I don't imagine.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't add up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, from very rough calculators, like, why would you do that?
But again,
unless your big thing is having a backup.
Yeah. And I behoove the backup thing, but I think the backup is important to a lot of people, right? And I think at that size, it's that disaster recovery of they've let a junior go off on one and they've posted the wrong date every day the day, but they can go back to yesterday where they knew everything was fine. It's that sort of scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just so flabbergasted about why did they watch Intuit make such a hash of it and go, here's my beer, I'm going to do that, I'm going to make it worse.
I'd like to find out if anyone's actually using it in Australia.
Not at that price point, surely. Why would they, right?
I'm guessing there's some sort of discount going on at the moment. But
100 at the moment for 3 months, and then $500. But they've gone so round. You look at all the other numbers; they're such random numbers, and they've literally gone, let's just go with $500, and then knock it down to $100 for 3 months. Get them in.
Is it ever going to be $500? That is the question.
Probably.
A bit like Advanced.
We'll wait and see. We'll keep an eye.
And look, I forget the price point because they've obviously they've aimed for something and it's not quite stuck, but that's the price can change and everything else.
Yeah.
But you think about the feature parity, right? They've got a long way to go to get to Advanced, a long way to go. But QuickBooks have already decided that they've got one above Advanced with Intuit Enterprise Suite, right? Like, and I know that's not a great product at this point in time, but by the time that Ultra's got to Advanced, surely you'd hope Intuit Enterprise Suite would have fixed its problems and its issues, right? This is a game they're going to take a long time to catch up on. And again, why didn't they just leave that in the oven and bring it when it was ready? Because all you're creating is a stink here, surely.
And also, then we do a lot of it. So we do a lot of mid-tier stuff. And actually, I did one last week, comparing, I think it was a 5 group. This is what you can have on Zero if you need 5 entities and you need all these things around the outside to do this versus what a mid-tier thing would cost you. Yes, the upfront cost, you might all be running on Zero and these apps, but it's still got a setup cost if you haven't got some of those apps, right?
Yeah.
Versus a one-off implementation of X and then your ongoing monthly cost. I think the ongoing monthly cost came out something like £600 cheaper to have a proper mid-tier system with more features than Zero and an app stack, and allowed you to then just keep going.
Yeah. There's no ceiling.
We're seeing a lot of it. Like, people come to us and go, "Do you want this now, or do we just jump straight ahead and set you up really cheaply on a mid-tier?" Which they're not. Yes, you have this implementation fee, but the return on investment is worth it.
Yeah.
Is there much point in them doing it, really? Going into that, unless they're really going to do it? Or could they?
Features, no.
I was going to say, or could they end up in a QuickBooks situation where they're all chasing the mid-tier and you're kind of leaving the small business behind?
There is a gap. Like, there always was that gap, right? Of
Like,
you got
small and mid.
did your Zero, your QuickBooks, then there was a gap, and you had your Sage 50s, and then there was a big gap up to your iPissits, your Intax, your NetSuites, etc., etc. Then we had Accounts IQ, which obviously that fills that gap. But then we had QuickBooks Advanced, but there's still that jump in the middle. But I think this Advanced did a little bit of it, but not enough of it, and then this completely misses it.
100%.
I do wonder whether an aspect of this is to help keep the people at the lower tiers, at the ordinary, I'm confused by the Ultimate and Ultra names, but the Ultimate is the 65 one. So the people who are thinking of getting it, but knowing they're growing and thinking, well, we better not get Zero because they don't have another version we could go to. So by offering that, those people aren't afraid to get Zero because they know they can move up. But then they need to emphasize the fact that this is the first iteration. These are what we're going to have over the next year, 2 years. We're going to add all these extra features. But I think I agree with Si. If you're just launching this stuff and not saying what else is coming on board, it's not that exciting a proposition. And for 500 Australian dollars, that's one hell of a price jump for very, very little extra. They need to be telling us what's coming down the pipe.
But again, it's history repeating. This is the bit I cannot get my head around, right? Intuit dropped the ball when they released Advance, and they didn't, like you just said there, Charlie, they didn't have that proper, look, trust us, we're going to have this, this, and this coming. This is our roadmap and everything else. They released it. It was a bit of a damp squid or whatever you're going to call it, and it struggled to get off the ground. And as us as like resellers, whatever you want to call us as accountants, partners, we struggled to sell it. We struggled to pass it on. We struggled everything else. They saw that happening. They also watched Intuit make a round of redundancies 2 years ago and blamed it all on performance. And that went down terribly. And it was a horrible, horrible situation for everyone. Xero's just done that not long ago, right? They've made a load of redundancies and based it on performance. Then they did the other cardinal sin where they attacked their most loyal customers. So the big reason, QuickBooks fell out this time last year, whatever it was, or 18 months ago, was that whole idea where they were doing price rises, as they always do, but they were attacking the most loyal customers by, if you had more than 250 chart of accounts, you had to go to Advance, and it was all that stink that came around there. But those 250 are the most loyal customers who use that product inside out. They love the product. It works for them, blah, blah, blah. We spoke at the time. Why not just let them stay on that 250, grandfather them in, and then just attack the people going forward? That would have been absolutely fine. But no,
don't let them add any more. But if you've already got that, fine. Stick however many you've got. Yeah. And if you delete any, then all that would be much better.
Gets rid of the stink, and it just makes it.
It pissed off a lot of my clients.
Yeah, and then Xero's just announced that if you have multiple entities, like Si was saying there, your discount's been taken away. Again, grandfather them in. They're your most loyal customers who have multiple licenses with you. They're doing no. If going forward, take away that saving, fair enough. That's fine. Let no more new customers can have that thing. Absolutely fine. But how many times are Xero going to keep watching into it, make a mistake, and then 2 years later, 18 months later, go, hold my beer, I'm going to make it. You thought that was bad.
That's how you do it,
yeah. Do you know what I mean? What is going on? How can this be something that's continuing to be a theme at the moment? I'm just flabbergasted by it all.
It's
crazy.
So Xero, Khan, are we all conned out of not going there, or the party looked good?
I mean, the slide was good. They had a whole color matching thing. I was jealous of the activities that they had there. And if someone gave me a ticket, I would have gone.
Yeah.
I couldn't justify.
It's still doing the whole thing. It's still doing the whole thing where it moves around the globe, doesn't it? So that was a London one. Then it'll be.
Is it Denver next? I think.
So maybe we'll all maybe we'll get press tickets and go to the Denver one. Make sure you like and subscribe for that one.
I was in the actual building for it this year, and they wouldn't let me walk in the door without paying. The idea that they'd send me to Denver, I think, is a little bit.
Should have said they were. I'm sure we could have got your press tickets, Charlie. We should have got you.
Possibly, I wasn't that excited to go, but
As a side of these announcements that might be going, might not. I am certainly more open to Xero these days. Never thought I'd say it. I'm more open, but my team member Jamie has actually said to me a couple of weeks ago, she's actually preferring Xero over QuickBooks. Wow. So I'm more open to look at it. I know.
And we're now open for fourth seat in the TechLabs.
Hang on, Simon's always been on the fence. Don't be like
that's
that.
Fine. He's got clients that fit the bill.
I do have clients. I have a client that I'm moving over from Sage Line 50 to Xero. It can only be Xero because of this. I know.
Stay on Sage Line 50 if it's me.
Yeah, that's my last Sage Line 50, I think, on the accounts level. I know. It's a sad day. It's a sad day.
Sad day indeed. I mean, my last bit about Zero is their MTD promise hasn't materialized, and that's really frustrating because I was one of the ones even saying that Zero has a future for MTD. They've gone for those complex clients, and fair play to them. They're the only ones doing it, and I think that's a rod for their own back. In fairness to them, right? They've gone for complex clients. It's more difficult, more tricky, more everything else. But you have to land. You have to get that landing right by the date. So, what we got for end of the week? Is it Friday?
Yeah.
At the moment,
they're saying that they can do these multi things and everything else, and have multiple people and all that. It's just not working as intended. Like there's just so many bugs.
Do they yet offer? One of the other things they said, or slightly less complex, it was to have both sole trade and rental income in the same license. I think they've got that, haven't they?
And multiple income people as
well.
well.
That bit I think they haven't got yet. But if you're just one person and you own the property outright, you've got rental income.
So,
you also
they have the functionality to do it. It's just it's not flowing through as it should do.
Oh wow!
It's just not.
Wow.
Yeah, but again, they were going for that complex MTD world, right? Like it was a hard place to go for them. So I kind of give them a bit of a,
I spent 2 hours trying to fix it.
Yeah, it's
mad. I would hope they would all. I mean, given that there's no penalties this year, I would hope that both QuickBooks and Xero have that fully in place by the end of this year, ready for
QuickBooks aren't interested. Yeah, no chance of QuickBooks doing that.
No? That's crazy.
It's
impossible. You can't do it with 2 files. It's just nonsense. You've accessing 2 files for a tiny sole. Somebody's earning 25 grand a year, split between rent and sole trade in 2 years' time, and they have to have 2 separate. It's not just the cost of 2 licenses, but to log into 2 different systems, pay for and they're probably using one bank account with that level of income.
Yeah. What about husband and wife with a shared property? Like suddenly you've got to have 2 licenses, and you exclude on one and exclude.
And you're running the data twice. It's ridiculous.
Free agent. Just saying, free agent.
Yeah.
Or how many it works nice. But
Does free agent do all that easily?
Yeah.
And
that's what Xero should be doing as well. In fairness, I think it will work like that when it's working. It's just not working at the moment. So
I think this is the week when all these MTD things, and some of them have already started failing.
You wait till tomorrow, Simon. We're going to have a lovely episode.
I was planning not to get involved in MTD for it at all. That was not. That was.
And then you got pulled into it by the sounds of it.
It's a Xero problem, or it's a QuickBooks problem. Oh, hang on, where's Simon? I'm going to take the rest of the week off.
I love you. Still I know you're not in it because you're calling it ITSA.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah.
All right, let's cover QuickBooks then as we brought them into the conversation, and then we'll go to Sage afterwards. So, some positive news in the world of QuickBooks. QuickBooks Online Accountant. So if you haven't known, QuickBooks Online Accountant has been retired. So that's the screen you go into when you very first go into QuickBooks. The date's floating around, but Charlie, you think it's 31st December? Is that what you were saying?
I think they were talking about August, I think, and then they've now moved it back to, I think, the end of December.
I thought it was August, but
something like that it was originally, but they've moved it to August, and so the new IAS has got 2 different versions, but you can use them for free until I think either 31st December or possibly even some date in January. So you can play around, and you can move back down if you don't like it. But they have deferred it slightly.
Yeah, and I'm liking it. Frustrated that out of my 4 practices, one of them can't move because they used to have QuickBooks Bureau, payroll, which is annoying because then it's like trying to teach people and all that sort of stuff that comes in, right? And you can't use new features and functionality, which is just the way it is. But you said you've got a nice little tip for everyone on if they want to get their experience back to the QuickBooks Online Accountant area.
So when you log into QuickBooks now in the new IAS format, it's a very, very minor thing, but when you log in, instead of going straight to your client list, it takes you to their homepage, which is where it brings together useful information, KPIs and things about your practice and about your clients. You can change what widgets and things you have there. If you want to just default go into your client list, just change the URL that you log into. So sort of go to qbo.intuit.com, you go to qbo.intuit.com/app/clients, You save that as your bookmark, and then you'll go straight into the client page. Problem is, once you're in a client and come back to IAS, you're back to the home page again. It's only one extra click. It's not really the end of the world, but it would be nice to have an option in there to set what your preferred default home page is. Would be nice.
Yeah.
Very minor, but a nice thing.
You should all have the new left-hand navigation into enterprise.
A new teal. What are we calling it? Teal?
Teal. I'm going with teal. Yeah.
Teal. Yeah.
Teal colour with IAS on the top left.
Yeah.
20th. So I look. 20th of January 27 is when the new prices start.
Yeah.
So you can play around with IAS Accelerate. So IAS Core is free. That's the standard one you get. IAS Accelerate is going to be £69 a month across your practice, not per client, across your practice.
Yeah. They've got a lot of
and that will start billing 20th of January. So play with it now. And if you don't think it's worth 69 quid, you downgrade to Core by 20th of January, and it's free.
In its current state, it is not worth £69 a month.
No, but I mean, if you've got a moderately sizable practice as an extra bit of your overall cost, it's probably not the end of the world, but it will get there.
Yeah, the issue I see at the moment with it is it is giving you less information than what we had on QuickBooks Accountant Suite. So things like your list of where, if your bank feeds are disconnected, if your number of transactions that are sat, all those that have all been moved out of your client list into Insights.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then the Insights doesn't actually populate that information. So if you just want a quick overview, you can't see that stuff, and that's what you've been sold it on, right? To get quick insights, to get that information quicker. At the moment,
good point.
That information.
That's something they need to fix. But also, while you mention that, I'm just throwing my little rants. Sorry.
Xero updates was the new Xero Partner Hub, which is very similar to, the plate they've obviously refreshed from your client list to the Partner Hub to go, here's your bank fees that are disconnected and extra stuff. I think they've got the same problem. It's not sourcing the right data. So it is very much hold my beer at the moment.
Yeah. I do wonder whether they have an issue knowing kind of which ones have got connected properly or not, because one of my long-term rants, I mean, this is for years, is getting emails constantly telling me that your bank feed is about to expire, or you have just renewed your bank feed. As an email, which comes to me as the practice owner and often primary, what do you call it? Primary user. But it doesn't tell me which client it's for. No. Doesn't even tell me the ID number. So I've got no way of looking it up. So it's a completely useless piece of information. And that's something I've ranted about for years. Huh?
Just noise, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what's the point? How difficult would it be to say client X? That's crazy.
Yeah. Amy, you on IS?
Yeah, I am. I still have a bit. I like the insights. So at the moment, I decided not to pay, but obviously we've got an extension. So I'm constantly looking at the insights because I want to see my volume of transactions. I don't know if I brought this up in TechLabs because I price my bookkeeping based on volume of transactions, and I used to have a plugin. Zenon used to plug in, but there's something. It's still not right. I can't even get it in client alphabetical order. That report, you can't drill into it. It's kind of like if we get to the end of the year and you have the ability to put it in order of name of client, drill into the number of transactions, see all these things clearly, I have no problem paying that money because that's less than my Zenon. And okay, I won't have my QuickBooks clients in there. I won't have my free agent clients in there. But with Xero, hopefully they'll have something similar on the back burner. But yeah, for now, the way it is, it's not.
Well, Xero have got insights, but you can't export it. So
yeah.
It's there. You can't. It's like that's
like we've all got all these little pieces. And if well, hopefully they listen. Hi, QuickBooks, can you change these bits, please? Thanks.
I would say I wouldn't worry too much about the price point because I've got a feeling, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but it'll be connected somehow to your ProAdvisor program, right?
I'm not sure. I think 69 quid is nothing, right? But actually having data that for it to work and having less data than we had
that's the issue.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
And stop taking functionality away because when I first came to it, I made this lovely little dashboard of these are clients you need to look at, and it was a dynamic dashboard because all the transactions, like how many unaccepted transactions went to the top, and you could then tick 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 go down. They took that functionality away. And it doesn't do.
Share, like if you've got teams of people, you want to build one dashboard and go, right, this is what we want you to look at, and share that across your team. So, but even little things like that, they have to build it all themselves. It's a bit like the bookmarks and all. You want to do that practice where they change the navigation. Yeah. Here's our bookmarks we want on every client. Here's the insights board we want you to all use, but it's at an individual user basis. And I can't imagine,
That's something they could maybe stick into QuickBooks, the new QuickBooks. What do they call the thing they brought back again?
Labs.
What are they
Great
called?
Segue to our next topic.
Yeah, they could put that in the same way you export a chart of accounts, that you could export your bookmarks and things and give it to another user within the firm would be nice.
I just think you should be able to set it firm level, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But Intuit Labs is back, and I believe, in my mind, it could be the most significant update we've had in years, because this has been the biggest problem at the moment. And we'll come on to it. Client requests, which was a great feature that was a great idea, but was terribly implemented and actually caused problems and issues. And they had to reverse thing on it. There was all sorts of problems that came with it. The problem we're having at the moment is we keep releasing these minimal viable products that aren't even minimal viable products, right? And struggling to get the buy-in, struggling to get everything else. The solution they brought with Intuit Labs, which is their new QuickBooks Labs, which, for anyone who doesn't know, top right-hand corner, click on there. You can basically turn on features at beta level, and you then get access to them straight away, but you're fully aware that you're in beta. The one they've brought to it is like an AI-driven thing that kind of goes in, and it's all right, but it's clearly flawed at this point. It's clearly not working as it should be intended. That's absolutely fine because it's in Intuit Labs and it's your choosing to go into it. As Charlie said there, if you want to have a feature that might be a little bit experimental, might not work as well, let's put it in Intuit Labs and see the feedback and go from there. So I'm really excited it's back. I just hope we get some really cool bits in there to, play around with it. Amy, have you played around with it at all?
The problem with it was, because I went to mess around with it, is that you can't connect it to a demo license or anything like if you're in you can only, if you logged in if you're going via your Intuit accountant suite, it will connect it to your firm's books.
Yes.
You can't connect it to a demo license you've got set up unless you then set yourself up as a business user and then switch it all around, which is a bit of a pain.
Because you can't go into a client and see theirs either, can you?
No, you can't connect. If you did it in a client, it automatically connects it to your firm's books.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go in and mess around on this, and then I was like, where is that come from? That name doesn't exist in my demo company, and it connected to my firm's books, which is you got to be careful with that, right? Because I know I've got them rights, but people don't have firm's books. I imagine they can't do that. But you got to be in there as the business user, not as the accountant, for it to connect to those books, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So then you might be, this Mr. Client, this is perfect for you. I can't show you it.
It is confusing why we've got this and Intuit Assist at the same time, and
QuickBooks name is
use your credits because I don't know if everyone's aware, but you only get so many credits with Intuit Assist every single month, right? So is this using it? Is it not? So all that confusion that you're just kind of like, You
get, I think it's 250 with core and 1,000 with the
something like that, isn't it? Yeah. But again, being in the idea that it's up there in the Intuit Labs, kind of fine with that, because that's when you want to have these conversations and understand and everything else, and it makes sense, doesn't it? Have you played around with it yet, Amy?
It's pretty similar to what I've been using the Intuit Assist. This Delphi.
Yeah.
Delphi.
Delphi.
Oh. Yeah, and I do use Intuit Assist, but then again, like Simon said, just for myself, not necessarily for my clients. Whenever I've asked it to go and get information from my clients through the insights bit, it's always just gone a little bit wrong. I've never really got it. But for myself, for my own business, it's been fine. I wouldn't say I've got anything more out of it than I wouldn't have gone myself. But if it worked better in my clients, then great, stunning.
I mean, back to QuickBooks Advanced, I've used it more than anything for like setting up prepayments because that's the only way that prepayment thing works.
Oh my God, don't get me started. Like, if there's ever a use case of overcomplicating how to do a prepayment, that is it.
But it's the only way to make it even activate, right?
It's absolutely insane because they have a perfectly good way of doing deferred income, and they've gone, "Oh, that works, but let's not do that for prepayment."
Yeah,
and it takes you 3 times as long to do a prepayment when I could have done a journal.
Yeah, just do journals.
Which defeats the object, and then to call it.
I know.
Anyway, like sometimes things don't need AI being bolted to them. Like, it'd be great if it spotted, the AI spotted, oh, that bill is overly prompt, therefore we think you should do this with it. But to generate a prepayment schedule and chat to this bot that asks all the information that's in the transaction is insane.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I'm using Intuit Intelligence for now at this point in time. Like, okay, final bit. Well, I was just going to explain client requests and go through that. Keep an eye on it, people. It's people who don't know, it's in the banking area. You have the opportunity to add client requests and go through there. Premise, absolutely amazing. They've had to go back and forth on it, but what I've seen of the new stuff that's come in, it looks really, really good. And yeah, I think it's one of those that give it some time. It's actually going to be really useful. Yeah. Tax calc updates. Amy, you had some tax calc updates for us.
Yes. So last week they released the ability for tax liabilities to pull through from tax calc into Engager. Particularly helpful last week for reminding your clients to make their payments on account. So the numbers are now showing in Engager right at the bottom on their first general information page. And you can use that information that's pulled through to then create a custom field in your, you don't even need to create a custom field. You can select it now on your letters to then go out to clients. Only downside with it, it doesn't pull through information from HMRC, payments from HMRC. So if someone's already made their payment on account at the start of the month, it's still going to show because unless you've manually entered it in tax calc as you go through the year to say, oh, they've paid this payment on account on this date. But definitely a time saving. And it's like one of those things that, I mean, tax calc and Engager are releasing and they're testing it and they're releasing as they go through the year. There's no particular dates saying, right, we've got this ready, let's go. And maybe a little bit earlier instead of a week before. I did already get my payment on account letters out, but I'm all set up now for January. So definitely having that tax calc and Engager integration where you're using the both you're definitely seeing the benefits. Not to brag, Aaron, definitely seeing the benefits of the integration between the two. And I know they're working on so much more that it's gonna, having those two products together is definitely making a lot of practice owners' lives a little bit easier. So that was a nice little win for last week. So positive. Yeah.
And Charlie, is that enough for you? Because we're looking over our picket fence, aren't we? We're looking at that grass at Screener. Are you any closer to pulling the trigger and moving over, or is this starting to make you look a little bit more?
At Engager or at tax calc?
Tax calc, because you're an Engager user, right?
So I'm an ex tax filer, so Iris Elements user, and I quite like Iris Elements. I've just put a little. I mean, Iris is a company I have some good feelings for and some bad feelings for, like most of the big companies. But I think they broadly moved tax filer over pretty well. I think they marketed it absolutely appallingly because they lost a lot of their users who absolutely hated what they thought was happening. I mean, my only major complaint about it is that it creates, when you've got a sole trade business, it doesn't just include it as a page and body attached, and it creates an extra client user which you have a relationship with the main client as attached to, which is complicated and unnecessary. So I'm not tempted to move over to tax calc yet. One, it's a lot more expensive, but the most important thing is it is not in the cloud. It's just data backup in the cloud, which is not the same thing at all. So they said, I think a few months ago, they were going to go to the cloud.
Yeah.
but they said that years ago when they launched their data back up in the cloud. So we shall see if they do go fully cloud and their prices reduce, or if Irish increase theirs significantly, then I might consider it. But I have to say I quite like the Iris Elements product. It's quite a nice product.
One of those statements is definitely going to happen, unfortunately. So let's hope there's a solution beforehand. Yeah, it sounds dead good. Sounds really good. They've made some other nice improvements to Engage, haven't they, with the ability for you to put that warning sign up now and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're looking.
Yeah, there's a lot more in product Engager all the time coming, and I think there's something. I got an email today about another feature, the auto reminders, which I think they had automate anyway. So I'm going to see what's different next week with that. But yeah, it seems to be every week or every other week something. They are on something.
Oh that's great.
Engager, they're constant.
I mean, yes, it's automatically chasing clients for records. It's doing it.
Yeah, I saw that email, but they've already got an automate in there, so I wonder if I wonder if it's any different. I'm going to watch it next week.
Yeah, Ash is back in control of the products now, which is good to see. Final bit is Sage embedded services. I generally believe this could be bigger than MTD, bigger than anything like that, if they get this right. So,
what?
Excuse me. If they, as in impact to accountants and how it's going to work for us, because from a software point of view, because what embedded services is the idea that Sage is now partnered with HSBC, Barclays, Monzo, Tide, SumUp. I'm missing one, but there's another one out there as well. And the idea is, instead of you having to do your standard bank feed and attach your bank feed, that you as the accountant could potentially be able to have unlimited access to that bank account. Because what will happen is the bookkeeping-esque solution within the banking app is going to be powered by Sage. So I'm currently playing around with the Tide one at the moment, and the idea is no matter what transactions I do within the banking app, so that going into that black hole, you know, our clients are being asked to take photos and receipt capture, and they're asked to categorize as they make payments and all that sort of stuff. Currently, most of that information goes into a black hole, and we don't have access to it as accountants, or we have to jump through a lot of hoops to get access to it, which makes it less worthwhile, right? The idea of Sage embedded services is because they are controlling and providing those services on behalf of those banks, that they can make it a nice, easy solution for us as accountants to get access to that data. And the workflow I've seen, it comes straight into your Sage accounting solution, and you don't have to worry about asking your client to do bank feeds and all that sort of stuff. That data will flow straight in there. So I've been really impressed with it so far. I think if they can get this right, it's going to be huge for accountants going forward, and could be a really good way where we can interact with clients' data and bring the data in.
Will it allow you to ask for a proper PDF bank statement to reconcile against?
Yeah. Wow. So the way I'm seeing it is this is open banking finally being delivered, right? Because
in effect,
we've never had open banking as we were promised.
Not for accountants,
That's the banks to build it, right? And
but if the banks have now opened this up to Sage, surely they will then very, very quickly be opening it up to Xero and QuickBooks and everybody else. Because
no. Sage have built this on behalf of the
I see.
banks, so it's only ever going to be Sage. But what it means is they've got features like, if you need to ask your client for a question on a particular bank transaction, it will pop up in their client's bank account, asking it about that transaction and going from there. Bits like that, right, to make our life easier to interact with clients, especially on those smaller ones. These MTD clients, it's going to be perfect. There's some. I went to a Sage embedded event in ICAW actually over in Moorgate. Moorgate. And we had a nice little round table and talk and everything else. And my biggest concern, or not concern, but my biggest feedback is that this is amazing. But as accountants and bookkeepers, we need to see what the client sees, right? We need a way of being able to see that that Tide view or that HSB view or whatever it's going to be. Because yeah, we can try and sign up to these solutions, but then we're not guaranteed to get access, right? We could get turned away because it's a bank, etc., etc. So hopefully they can build us like some sort of way so we can see what they're interacting with and kind of help our clients. But they came out with some really crazy stats. One of them was that 17% of all transactions for businesses and percentages are outside the bank anyway. So how do you deal with them and how's that going to be dealt with? Say you're looking at ways in which you can bring non-banking transactions into banking apps going forward to try and record them. So that'll be good. And the scariest stat of all was that 40% of all accountants out there are filing their company accounts via Companies House website.
Sorry.
40% of all accountants out there are submitting their company accounts. Companies House.
That's stopping very soon anyway, aren't they? They're blocking
Yeah,
that.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But that
I
means
don't
that they
think
are
it's that
more than
hard.
likely not using accounts production software, right? Because
Yeah.
why would you use, like, why would you file your own accounts in there? So yeah,
Okay,
this whole
that's crazy.
yeah, there's a lot of accountants out there who are still very much things. It just brings it to, like, all this technology and stuff is going nowhere. Go for a
I
second.
think this is bigger news than Zero Ultra.
What? That 40% are
No, the same embedded.
embedded. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
But it's,
They're going to win so much work out of it, surely.
But that's something that, I mean, we've all wanted as a profession for years, is the ability to very, very easily get read-only access to client accounts. Barclays some years ago had a service, I forgot what they called it now. It was a relatively cheap service that accountants could subscribe to, get their clients to fill in some online form, and we could then log in, had full read-only access to all of their accounts. We could do what we like. It was brilliant. Then they stopped. Then I think they sold it off to somebody else, and then it stopped. It was a good service while it lasted.
So at the moment, this is you generate one link in your Sage, hand it to the client, they tick the box, you got access then. None of this, messing around or anything, or reattaching it and all that sort of stuff. No, it looks really good. And okay, they're starting small scale.
They're using it for lots of other stuff as well. They're using it at like Sage 50 level or Intact level. They're trying to roll it out across everything for other things because, like I said, Sage, or as some people will say, Sage was a certain type of software that didn't allow connections. But this allows that. It opens up the possibilities to those old desktop systems, but actually they use embedded services, and all of a sudden they're back in the game, so to speak.
Yeah, because again, they're starting at the smallest scale for now, but they are already talking about ways they can easily migrate from a embedded service solution. So imagine you first start out as a client and they're on this Tide or HSBC banking app, and they're just filing their VAT returns or tax returns or whatever, MTD returns directly in there, right? Then they can easily migrate to a Sage 1 or whatever the solution is going to be, and then they can migrate to the next one, right? We've just talked about how Xero's like creating a ceiling for themselves. Sage don't have a ceiling, right? Sage can go all the way to ERP because of Intact.
It's about, even the little screenshots of what they've put up on the embedded website, right? At that, and there's a little thing on financial reports, and even you have to be quite spicy, but it even says what department has this been posted to. Right, that's already a step up from as QuickBooks Simple start on a Zero, whatever it's called now. They're already looking at slicing and dicing of data. Yeah, there is no top to Sage, right? You're at Sage here with your bank, then your Sage Business Card, then your Sage 50, then your Intact. Because there's obviously now Intact at a smaller level now as well to reduce that barrier to entry. Then you've got like your X3s, your 200s, your 1000s, all those specific things. There is no stop, right? And you're in, and the Sage have always carried that brand, right? I've pitched for jobs and gone, it's this. Well, this one's cheaper, but actually they've heard of the Sage brand and will pick the Sage brand because it's the biggest tech company in the UK, right? So you get there for a reason.
Exactly. And I think not enough people are aware of what embedded service, and there's a scariness about it, right? Because in theory, a client can then file their own MTD or something directly from the bank account. But fine, like let them do that. Like, but if we can then jump in and help them, and we just need one link, we get access to all this and like, it's such a clever way of doing it. It's what Free Agent and Metal have been in so right for so long. But this is on a scale where, you know, you're not just having to have NatWest, not just having to have metal. There's a lot more options out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm involved in every beta I can get my hands on in the embedded services. We'll continue
And
to.
it's not just given to banks; it's been given to anyone, right? Any developer can get hold of Sage embedded services and build something.
Yeah, because that's why that Summit one's a bit of a weird one, but actually it makes sense, doesn't it? Like,
I like the carbon accounting part. That's kind of quite cool. That's
yeah.
Like that's quite. And Sage have got Sage Earth, which does that. But again, that's that much bigger mid-tier up, bigger stuff. But actually, at lower levels, you only need to be one farmer in the Tesco's chain, right? And you suddenly got to report your CO2 to them.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's going to get more widely adopted, isn't it? There's going to be more requirements for it going forward. Yeah. Hashtag all Amy's like rubbing her hands.
Well, I'm thinking about Sage because I use it probably the least. I don't know, unless Charlie doesn't use it. I'm like, that's amazing. And then your mind goes to, because you think about your clients and, you know, potential clients in the future, that would be so much easier. You know, we have Capital on Tap access, Revolut access for our clients as accountants, and it just makes life so much easier. But I still can't get past Sage Bank. I still can't get my head around it. It takes too long. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, embedded services, amazing, stunning. Every new client can go on there when it works. I'm like, yeah, but I'm still going to use the Sage banking. So I will keep an eye.
It'll get better.
I hope so.
Yeah. I've seen, so being a Sage accounting council member, I got to see some screenshots that get me very excited. So.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. So right, quickly go through. Gideon says, "This is my first time. Welcome." I'm glad, says Gideon. Welcome. Mel says, "Good afternoon, everyone from London. Good afternoon to you too. I love learning these wild sayings from Aaron, like grandfather them in." What can I say?
We're saying for each time. Grandfather, sunsetting. That'd be a good one.
Sunsetting, yes.
Chris says, "Miss my loveliest stuff. How many transactions we need to clear?" That was all about the reduction in functionality from QuickBooks Online Accountant to IAS, and used Sift Analytics to pull transactional volume in path. I know it was amazing when Sift was, what was it, for unlimited use at one point? It was, you paid X amount, you got unlimited clients.
Yeah, we did something with Dex Precision as well. But again, that relies on the APIs being equal across all the platforms you're connected to. So like, some wouldn't. And
yeah. No, I know. Ewa says, the thing that worries me about accounting embedded in banking is that it can give clients false confidence in their attempts at bookkeeping accounting. We've all seen these clients who tried doing their own accounting in QB and Xero, probably wrong. I can only imagine how worse it would have been done by their bank account. Great point. What I would say is we've got to change that term, right? Bookkeeping accounting should be our term. They're doing data entry, right? Like if we can make it very obvious to them that they are data entering, and if they feel confident that that data entry is right to send as an MTD or whatever it's going to be, fine. But I think we need to take back that term bookkeeping, right? Bookkeeping should be something that someone at least with experience in bookkeeping should be able to bookkeep. But you know, someone like you're saying there, just doing data entry, and we should be able to define the two. I think it's going to be fine. I did learn though that HMRC now have a way of knowing not only where it's been submitted from, like what software has been submitted from, like for MTD and stuff like that, but also if they're attached to the accountant and not, and they're going to start using that quite a lot.
They did quite a lot of that with when they did RTI payroll. They knew where the submissions were coming from, so that way you could trace back.
Exactly.
Oh, which software have you not disconnected from HMRC? Oh, you've left. You know, where people have migrated payroll software and then not taken out. It's like the likes of Xero and QuickBooks. You might have moved to something else, but left your RTI user ID and password in. Yeah. If you don't do payroll, it'd submit a nil return, right?
Yeah.
So you got to submit a nil return. Meanwhile, your actual payroll system was submitting the actual figures, and they kept overriding each other. So that was one of the reasons why they did that. You can go, oh, right, that came from Xero, right? Where's the Xero? Why?
Yeah. And be able to connect the dots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the ideal world, you're going to want this world where HMRC are going to be on top of it if they're unrepresented and using a piece of software that seems a little bit like suspicious and not quite doing things as it should do. Like that's the whole.
I mean, that's a use case for AI properly, right? Where's it come from? 100%. Does it look like it?
Yeah.
Bing.
Yeah. Maybe it's hashtag audit Amy AI. And you become a specialist on auditing using AI.
Well, yeah. With all these things, like the thing I was in touch on here with the lovable connection, people being able to build their own apps on the outside of it. It's like, I think we had quite a bit of chat about it. It's like, don't build an app that's reinventing the wheel. If there's already an app there, what are you achieving? Go and get that. But also, who's checking these things?
Yes. So I have built a work papers app using Lovable. Love it, working really well. And I
you're an accountant, so you know what they should, the outcome should be. It's when you've got, I'm going to build a Shopify a storefront, and you're like, why?
True.
It, right?
And I built a capacity app, so I've got the bug. In the
That's the thing. It is quite easy to vibe code. Like, don't get me wrong, you can easily vibe code something in 10 minutes, right? But it's then actually.
Can you?
Yeah.
Me and Charlie sit there going,
episode on vibe
code. Yeah, we should have an episode on vibe coding. Yeah, please.
Well, we're bringing back the watch series to AI, and me and Tim are going to do a vibe coding session. So if anyone else wants to join, follow and go from there. Speaking of which, thank you very much for watching. Amy, what are you up to? Plug away.
I'm going away. It's summer holidays. And this month I'm not doing. Oh, we've got MTD Watch tomorrow because we've got MTD on Friday is the deadline. Not all of mine are going to go in because there's a problem at HMRC. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But the rest of this month I am work or holiday. There's no events in August that I'm aware of, but that's fine. September is when it starts getting busy again. So I'll update you in a few weeks.
Charlie, what are you up to? Plug away.
Well, I'll just remind people on this new pilot episode of this new podcast that I have my QuickBooks Online. I've changed the name of it because it's called QBOA User Group, QuickBooks Online Accountants. Maybe I need to change that. But anyway, it's a QuickBooks Online user group for pro advisors on Facebook. If you're in Facebook, look for QBOA UK, and it's a place for tips and questions and advice and support for pro advisors. So come and find us there.
Nice. Si, who are you? No, who are you?
I don't know who I am anymore.
Plug away.
I'm not going on holiday because it's August. I want to be sane. What we do, lots of stuff on mid-market, and we've launched a new LinkedIn page, so anything software advisory stuff. So if you want, this will be on there, and any news around what's going on in Zero, QuickBooks, anything mid-tier and stuff like that. Very briefly, iPlicit, for instance, have done some AI governance stuff today, which we shared. It's always worth a good read. Head over there, and Walking Software Advisory, which is a mouthful, but I'm sure we can put a link to it. I'll be working on that, and then some cool projects that I can't talk about, but
Oh, interesting.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Thank you very much, everyone. Join me tomorrow with Amy and Susanna as we talk about the wonderful world of making tax digital. We have some stories to share around the campfire and hopefully inspire. Maybe it's too late to inspire, but hopefully people don't have the same.
We'll make people feel better where it's not going right for them. We're all
problem shared is a problem halved, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Karen says, really enjoyed it, guys. Learned something useful. Thank you very much. Well, join us next time when we go live on the second Wednesday of the month, and we'll talk about everything that's happened. Thank you, Mahul. Thank you to Fly High Finance, and we'll see you next time. I think it's the wrong intro, but outro, but yeah, we'll get there. Cheerio. Bye.
Bye.